There.
There, we're live, and it's Friday night, and it's episode 52 of the Fancast. I'm your host, Brain Muffin, the lifting nerd. And with me tonight, all the way from wherever he is, Tap and Die.
What have the Romans ever done for us?
Aqueduct?
Besides that.
Medicine?
Besides that.
They helped us number the movies.
University. And also back for week number 2, Reality's Frank.
Yeah, so before we begin the show, I've been keeping a really terrible secret to myself for many years, and I think the time has finally come to confess.
You're
so,
gay.
No, it's worse than that. I wrote My Immortal.
Fuck.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
There you go, Kendo. You always wondered who did it. I brought a protein bar down here. I don't know what the heck I did with it.
Are you going to do a review for the show tonight?
No. I don't know if I've done I think I've already done reviews of these. These are the My Bars. Yeah, and I'm gonna say how because it doesn't have 15 flavors of hops, how much I hate it. So, yeah, I was, I speaking of which, I did that PBR. I did that a little while ago. I don't know how many beer and nutritional type stuff reviews I have recorded and haven't edited, and some of them I haven't even loaded into Final Cut. But I mean, I don't know. It's too many. But I thought for sure when I did that one, I was going to get a lot of crap for a hipster beer. And Kendo left a comment about, Lape is hipster. We knew that. And that was it. So that's why I put my thing. If you are a patron and you listen to this show, then you heard them talk about, they've been talking about that for a couple of weeks about how I hate beers or something. There's been very few that I've not really liked that I've reviewed, but I don't understand that. But I was like, I thought for sure they were going to have a field day with that, but I didn't do it to be the punch of a joke. It just afterwards, I'm like, I wonder if they'll do anything, but that's why I was not whining or complaining. So,
All right,
so how you guys? Normally we talk about what we're going to talk about, but we haven't talked about that because we were experimenting, and because I don't know what the heck I'm doing, it took forever. And so how's Mama and them?
Great. Oh, wait, I got something to say. Okay, so Eric's at Hooters tonight, right? And
instead of Chipotle. That's pretty.
So that's what threw. Yeah, so I'm kind of suspicious on that. But Either way, it reminds me of a story when I think I was 4 years old, I believe. We were at I was with a friend. We were at a Hooters. And I was just wandering around. They tell me I was wandering around, and one of the girls stepped in front of me, and I was looking down. So I looked up, and I guess I saw the big jugs in front of me. I went, "Wow!" Really loud. That's what they tell me. So I guess it was safe to say yes, I like booze.
He's a good kid.
That's it.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah,
that's
not much to it.
I wonder, can I see the chat? No, I can't see the chat. Somehow there's a way to well, I don't know. I can see it. Oh, that's what you do. You go up in the other one and then you remove it. Because I can pop the chat out, and now it's in another window. So I'm not listening. I'm viewing, but I'm not listening. That's muted.
Wait, say that again. You're what?
If you go to who's this dollar store liquid metal pro guy? That must be you, Tap and Die.
What? Hey, me?
Unnamed Ghoul. I know. Are you? I forget. You live in Texas?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Well, that is not perfect.
Me. Yeah. So, anyway, you guys have any topics? I mean, we started the show, but we didn't go over topics. I mean, has everybody listened to WCBS this week and all the other stuff? I know you guys aren't patrons, so you probably didn't hear any of the other stuff. But
I'm a patron.
Oh, you are?
So I got to hear the Steve Harvey episode part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Right. Well, they mentioned you in the after dark No,
After Hours.
After Hours, because Dion was there. So I was like,
Yeah,
wait a minute,
because
I didn't know he was a patron.
they started just talking about Steve Harvey, and then that's when Jeff said, "That's for you, Tap and Die," and I'm just like, the funny thing is I was listening, and I'm like, huh, maybe I should call this the Steve Harvey 2 episode. And then right as I thought that, that's when Jeff said it. I was like, damn, our minds were synced somehow.
That's funny. Although his was recorded.
Yeah, weird, isn't it?
Yeah. You had a delay syncing on the minds.
Mm-hmm.
So, also for anyone who, if you go back to listen to some of our old ones, last week Frank and I determined that episode 10, I believe, if I remember correctly, was the last one he was on. So, was it episode 2 or 3? Because we put you in the thumbnail with those crazy glasses on and that crazy background.
Yeah,
a whole new reality. So, but I tell you what, I've been on my phone every time I bring up Google. I get all these, I don't know why, but it shows all these links to different articles and crap. And that's where I've been getting some of my articles to do. And I'm even behind on those videos. And it's amazing. It's like, now there's a new one. Saw one today where they're going to do some kind of wacky crossover story between Star Trek, the old show, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. I'm like, what? I didn't read the article, so I really don't know what it's about. I could probably find it somewhere, but it was crazy. I was like, whatever. And then apparently now there's going to be a new young Picard show that happens before the Next Generation.
What?
Oh, I'm like, are we going to find out that he's really Wesley's father? I always thought on the original run of TNG that's what we were going to find out, but that never happened.
I thought you were going to say he's Wesley Snipes. It's like, what?
This explains so much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Why he slays vampires and Weasley Crusher.
So he became white and old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well. So, but anyway, go ahead.
Who go ahead?
You. I thought you were going to say
nothing.
something.
I didn't say anything.
I thought I was going to cut you off.
No.
So what do you guys think about the other Star Wars crap? I mean, it's like there's something about Rey might be the daughter of Kira from Solo.
Who gives a shit?
No, there was on one of my videos, this person, I'm going to find it. This person left a long, it was like, I gotta find this thing. I don't want to paraphrase what they wrote. This was pretty, I thought it was pretty interesting. I don't know if it's their thing or something they got from. So I did a video about we got more leaks about episode 9, and in game put yet another take it with a grain of salt BS. TFA. And so that's, I guess that's what they were talking about, the article I was reading. So TFA, I guess I could share this. Should I share this and kind of like do an impromptu read while we're live, or just leave it the way it is?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Let's make sure I screen share and not knock us off the air. Oh, that rhymed.
I swear her freaking neck, though, is like connecting to her face in that picture. I mean, look at it.
Whose neck is there you go. There's Rey. How come we can't get a Rey like that? You mean like that one?
See? Yeah. Look at it. Like she has it's like her neck is connected to her face. Like
you mean her chin?
Or would they say puffy or whatever you say?
Yeah, I did say puffy. Yeah, and I noticed that a little bit in The Force Awakens. And
it's the lighting.
Well, I don't know if it was, I don't know exactly what it was. But I noticed it more in scenes with Harrison Ford. And I know he broke his leg, and they, during the scene when they're running through his new ship when that thing escaped, a door closed on him. And then they shot around until it recovered. And then when they came, so I don't know what was a pickup after the fact or not. And then in The Last Jedi, she was puffy like the whole time. So, but I didn't notice that. I didn't see Murder on the Orient Express, but I saw the previews, the trailers, and I never saw that. So I don't know what the problem was. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but anyway, let me scroll down to in game here. In game, thanks for your super chat. I mean, thanks for your comment.
So what?
Yeah, this channel's
read
not
my comment.
Yeah,
just go and read my comment.
What, yours?
Yeah, read mine.
Tune in next week for Ray's. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Didn't I respond?
Did
yeah.
You?
Yeah, but I didn't respond with another Spaceballs quip though.
Oh.
I should have. So TFA follows core film canon in shows. Snoke created Rey, but this is after the fact, right? Solo was written, what, 2.5 years into all this mess, or 2 years in. So actually, it was what, 2 years. Disney buys Lucasfilm, and then it's what, 2.5 years before they come out with The Force Awakens. So Rey's mother lied to Snoke to save her child from him and hid her on Jakku. Obi-Wan and Luke trained Rey and made her forget to keep her hidden from. This doesn't make any sense.
How did Obi-Wan train her?
Yeah, what, his Force ghost? Finn and Rey will become a couple. No,
I do not want that shit to happen.
No,
it's gonna be so fucking stupid.
Rey doesn't have a father. She was created by Snoke. TFA references Revenge of the Sith. Snoke's theme music is based on the music in Return of the Jedi when Palpatine is talking about the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Snoke is very old. Okay. I mean, there are some I'd have to go listen to some of the music on TFA to see if that stuff is there, because the movie was horrible. TFA shows Luke and Obi-Wan knew Snoke created Rey and worked with Rey's mother, Kira, to hide. So that's the Kira from so then there's also a little bit more from in-game. So Rey's original name was Kira, and JJ was going to go with Kira. It's like Luke and Luke before he decided to stick with Rey. So how do you go from Kira to Rey? Oh, Kira? Maybe that's the problem. I'm saying it wrong. It's not a Ra, that's Rey. Lawrence Kasdan co-wrote TFA and Solo, and knows Rey was originally Kira. We'll say Kira, and knows her bloodline and how she was trained. Lawrence then created a female character with dark hair and an English accent, who's much cuter and has fuller lips. If everybody was noticing, that's the best thing about Rogue One. Is a trained killer working with a Dark Lord. He is clearly based on she is. Oh, and is. I think she is clearly based on Mara Jade. People are like, I'm already read this because you can't read and talk at the same time.
It's true.
Hey, David Applegate's listening.
Oh, good. So
something about music being recycled.
Yeah.
That's Solo. I haven't seen Solo, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So, man, yeah, I think on one of the reviews, I think it was Solo, where people were saying the theme at the beginning of the movie is like from some CD-ROM game from like 10 years ago or something. It's a slightly different arrangement and it looks different. So,
hey, Kendo.
Hey, Kendo just joined. But anyway.
Hey, great.
Special guest, Kendo Slice, here to pop ratings.
Yeah. And now here's Kendo. But anyway, this was a very interesting, very long comment on my video about, so this,
Oh, but mine wasn't.
No. Tune in next week. No. I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
There we go.
But do you know how to use it? So anyway.
It gets twisted.
I don't like yogurt, even with strawberries. So, Kendo, what's up?
Not much, just hanging out. Jeff and I are going to be doing some Schlocktober shit tonight, and I was sitting there and I saw the message pop up with a hangout. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to crash their party.
Well, we need to crash, and what this is turning into, it's like we're better recording than we are live, apparently. I know that's a relative term. I'll stop doing that. I'll stop showing. But yeah, because I was trying to figure out how to share. We did and you probably saw the other link in there too. And Frank and I were experimenting with stuff, and I never could get it working right.
You guys didn't do enough experimenting in college. You had to do it with each other now.
Yeah.
Do enough experimenting in college. You had to do it with each other now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but by the time Frank was in college, I think I was married.
I never went to college.
Oh.
That sounds like a you two problem and not me problem.
Now, I forget how old you are, Frank. Aren't you in your
I'll be
40s?
40 in January.
40 in January. Okay. Yeah. So, January is the next, or yeah, duh.
That's coming January, yes.
Yeah, that happens once a year.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I'll be 51 next year, so.
Old.
Jesus.
No, I'm not. I'm not Jesus. Sorry. I don't have long enough hair and I'm wrong color.
Jesus' grandfather.
Well, normally him and LMP, talk about how old I am. And, didn't you know Moses didn't you guys hang out as teenagers? And
He said he was going to read some verses from your Bible or something, but he hasn't done it yet. That's what I'm waiting for.
who?
LMP. You
Oh.
saw what he posted. He's going to read them, he said, on the show.
Oh, it was you. So David Applegate says use of sheet music from the Williams from prior movies, hence the rock guitar. Yeah, I haven't seen Solo. Snoop music was pointed out by Mahler, I think.
It's not good.
Yeah, but is it better than The Last Jedi?
Yeah, but that's like saying being shot in the face is better than being shot in the neck.
You still die, just not as quickly.
Yes.
By minutes. Pretty much. It's pretty much all that it is. Yeah, it's shoot. I say I was going to answer a question. Now I don't remember. What were we talking about?
Solo?
No, it was tap and dice question.
What question?
I can't rewind, so I can't tell you. Please be kind. Rewind. You guys remember that? I know Frank does.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an okay movie. Not great, but okay.
Yeah.
I was never the biggest Mos Def fan.
Yeah. No, but Kendo, I did see I gave your comment a thumbs up. Actually, I should have hearted it.
What comment was that?
Leap is a hipster. This is common knowledge.
Well, you are a hipster.
Well, I don't know. I don't vape, so I don't know if I can be a hipster. I might be, too old.
We'll see.
He was so old. He was a hipster before being a hipster was cool.
You see, the thing is, the only way you could be a hipster by vaping is if you've never smoked or used tobacco.
Ooh.
Then I can't. Well, I never smoked cigarettes, but I did smoke cigars.
Well, if you had an addiction problem and you turned to vaping to get off of it, then you would not be a hipster.
Oh, I did not have an addiction problem. Well, not to nicotine.
Yeah, because the hipsters that vape are the ones that run around screaming about the flavorful juices that they have and it's zero nicotine, and it's like, yeah, that's cool, bro.
Oh, does it still give them? Does it still give them popcorn lung or whatever it is that you can get from vaping?
Fuck, I don't know.
Oh,
I'm not a science lung person.
I'm not that kind of doctor.
I'm not that kind of doctor. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So, does anybody have a topic? I feel very strange being live and because normally we talk about this, but I was too busy. You
want to talk about the Mandalorian thing?
Yeah, come on. Yeah, go, man. You can. I host the show, but I don't have to be the one talking all the time.
Yeah, well, they brought up the Mandalorian, and I just immediately started shaking my head because now instead of Disney shitting out a new Star Wars movie every year, we're gonna smell fresh shit every week, and it's still gonna suck. They're still trying to, cash grab and whore out the property, and it's like, who asked for this?
Someone in the Facebook Messenger, the group was posted something about how they had already shitted on the Mandalorian lore even before Disney. Before this show was coming out with the Clone Wars show, how they used to be. And I'm like, And it's funny was I was like, oh yeah, like I hadn't thought about it in so long because I hadn't even watched the show. Because I remember I think my brother would tell me about the lore, and then I thought about it. I was like, oh yeah, they did shit on it, so probably gonna shit on it some more, as usual.
I mean, so what did they do to undo the lore? I mean, can you give some
Well,
background there?
to start off, if they weren't pacifists, or yeah, if I remember correctly, that's what they pointed out. They were the whole idea that they were trying to be neutral, if I remember correctly, in the series. That wasn't them. That's not the real Mandalorian way or whatever. That they wouldn't have tried to stay out of the war. They would have. They're warrior. It's a warrior a race or whatever, and they would have been fighting whichever side. Or no, I couldn't tell you. I'm sure that somebody could, but that was the start of it. And supposedly they wouldn't have some kind of leadership. That way they couldn't be broken. I got to find the post. I just don't. But it was pretty interesting. I got to find out. Remember who it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I looked at that stuff, and because I thought they were kind of like their own agenda kind of race. It's like, were they really a race, or they are a group of people?
I believe they were a race.
Because in the prequels you have them all being clones and stuff. So
yeah, well, in that same post too, they pointed out, if I remember correctly, Jango Fett in the original, I think it was Jango Fett, was supposed to be, he's like a heroic person. They didn't, because in the show they did say he was just some mercenary or whatever that happened to be wearing the armor. But he was supposedly like a legit Mandalorian, and he was like honorable or something, if I remember correctly. Like I said, I got to find that post. It's pretty long, but it was pretty good. Let me see if I can find it. I'm almost.
That's what she said.
Exactly. That's what she always says.
I wish she'd stop saying it. I've always hated
She also says, "Don't fucking touch me."
Well, that's true. She says it a lot, actually.
Yeah. Well, I've been married too long. I don't know. I don't even know where to start anymore.
Yeah, she only says no to him. That's all she says.
Honey, where's the butter? No.
Just try to give it a tip.
Just a tip. Yeah.
Damn it. Still looking for it.
All right. Well, we also had, my take on the whole. I don't know if I'm as quite as cynical as Frank, but we know they're going to try to make money off of it. But if they make good stuff, I don't really mind as much. It's when it's a money grab and it's crap that I'm like, this is just stupid.
Well, that's the thing though, is if they make it good, which they won't, because as long as KKK is in charge, it's just going to be the same shit over and over. Ultra pro feminist agenda and fuck quality. Quality through inequality.
Well, yeah, the agenda first, everything else second.
Yeah.
So, and it being identity politics, so it makes it even worse, So, and yeah, what's interesting is that a lot of this stuff is I noticed this when I was in school in the late 80s. It was very fringe. And in the mid 90s, when I worked at the University of Tennessee, so I've been out of school for several years, I was like, this is a little bit less fringe. And this is also the time when he had, I forget what school it was, but I know I've mentioned it before, but there was a feminist who was talking about there are this postmodern thinking that there were such things as male feminists. Is that? No. Basically, they were men that basically were identifying themselves as female. It was an accident of conception that they were male. And it was very, very fringe. I forget what it's called. It's been too long. This has been, over 20 years, almost 20, probably 24 years when I heard this. But it was very goofy, very, fringe thinking. And here it is. Oh, there's the dogs going. And it's exactly what we have now. It's like the mainstream, if you want to put that in air quotes, feminist, the people that the louder voices are like, oh, you can identify as anything you want. It's not biology. It's just the social, gender is a social construct.
Okay, so, I found the post.
All right, go, man.
Okay.
And
So
I'll mute in case the dogs bark again.
okay. So yada yada. The first part, I'll jump in right here. Okay. I don't know if I should say his name, but I won't. So if you're in the group, you'll know. Okay, it says, when I heard the dude refer to Django as a common bounty hunter thug, I knew something was wrong. Django was a Mandalorian hero who led Jaster Murley, if I'm pronouncing that right, true Mandos. He was held when his clones destroyed the Jedi. See, when I found out that he had a leader in the form of Duchess Satine, I realized they weren't the EU Mandos I grew up with. Let's see, hold on. Let's see. Okay, the fact that they were pacifists, which is in the show, The Clone Wars, was a flag so red every crypt in the galaxy was after it. See, and then he says, see, a lot of this was a direct slap in the face of Karen Travis, author of the Republic Commando series, who built up a lot of the Mandalorian culture. Nomadic warriors with strong family values, not limited to bloodline. At 8 years old, a Mandalorian child is learning how to hunt, not in fucking school drinking motherfucking tea. Seriously? Let's see. The planet was changed. Mandalore in the EU and RC books was described as mostly savanna-esque wildlands with only a few pockets of civilization. It's not the city utopia that was in the Clone Wars. Mandalorians would never build something so permanent. Mandalore isn't even their official homeworld. It's really just a place they happen to meet up at frequently. See, and it goes on for a little bit longer, but you get the point. See, there, he's pointing out that they changed it so much in the Clone Wars, being before this show was announced, that it's probably not going to sit well with a lot of hardcore fans who like, especially the ones that really love the Mandalorian part of it. So we'll see how that goes, right? But it's on there if you want to read the whole thing. It's really long, but like I said, this guy, he's one of the Mandalorian guys who loves that shit. I mean, I think they look cool, the armor and all that, but I didn't get into it as much as some people.
I never read the books myself. I was happy with the movies.
Yeah, we all were. But then this asshole named Rian Johnson, well, actually, not just Rian Johnson, fucking Jar Jar Binks, what's his face? I can't even say his name right there. I'm so fucking pissed. And then, what's his face had to sell it into white slavery. George, I'm looking at you.
Speaking of which, so I'm reading the chat. So Kalen the alien, was that the one that do you know if that Kendo, if that's Kalen Dealine? That's one of those that Jeff's always reading up.
That's Marath Dealine.
Oh, Marath Dealine. Okay.
You're thinking of Kalen Webb, and I don't know where. Oh, he changed his name to something else because he changed his channel name, and I don't remember what it was off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Kalen Webb.
Kalen Webb. Yeah. He's comment on my stuff all the time. Didn't we have him on the show one time? Did? I'm not sure. Got a man bun. What? So anyway, yeah. Russian Star Wars bots. Get those ratings. The DJD show. Wow, Jeff makes it sound so easy when he's he keeps track of what's going on and watches the chat. All I can do is watch the chat. Although I am doing some research for tonight's Hall of Fame. Unless, Kendo, you want to give another, you want to nominate somebody.
I'll check back with you on that one.
All right. Because, yeah,
I could go for some Italian fried chicken right now.
Italian fried chicken, yeah. What's the story behind that?
It was just an offhand joke that we came up with one day when we were bullshitting around.
Oh, okay. Because all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute, did I miss something? I went back and listened to an episode and I was like, no, they just start talking about Italian fried chicken like it's a thing.
Yeah, that's all it really was we were sitting around one time. I remember if we were off air on air Patreon doing whatever, but it somehow or another just.
I believe it was a Patreon thing.
Yeah.
Something got mentioned about KFC or something like that, and Jeff then at KFC for dinner. And then IFC, and then it got turned into Italian fried chicken. So then I fucking Guido voiced it and did like a commercial, and it just kind of grew from there.
Sound like you remind me of Andrew Dice Clay every time you do that.
Yeah, Yeah, I've kind of noticed that too. Which I'm not going to complain. I was a fan of the Dice Man.
Yeah, is he still around? Or is he gone?
He's still around. He's still around.
Is he? Oh, I thought he died.
I mean, he chain smoked like he was on fire.
Yeah, he doesn't do as much comedy stuff as he used to, but yeah, he's still there.
Yep, he's still married or has a partner, Valerie Vasquez. They were married, they're not, but now they're his partner. 61 years old, man. He's 5'11". He's wearing his big ugly glasses, though. I wonder if he's got a eye problem. So anyway, yeah. But you know what? I'm going to bring up some of those articles I was talking about. Let's see what that one was about with the crossover. That was the craziness. Star Wars Resistance. This was one that I saw today. I hadn't read it yet. So we've been talking, you know, you guys were talking about Clone Wars, and we have this new show called Star Wars Resistance coming that looks like garbage. Mm-hmm. Targeted at kids, but on at 10 o'clock at night.
I'm telling you, that's what LMP looks like in real life as the main character. That's probably what he looks like when we finally see him.
So apparently it begins 6 months before the events of The Force Awakens. So
wait, say that what?
So unlike Lucasfilm's other animated series, The Clone Wars and Rebels, Resistance is the first show to take place after Return of the Jedi. It begins about 6 months before the events of The Force Awakens.
Oh.
So what? So
it's still going to be on too late and I'll be asleep by then.
Well, you know, we got BB-8 because we got BB-8 toys to sell because, you know, otherwise we can't sell them because reasons. Because the movies are horrible. That's why. It's not difficult to figure out.
Yeah, I regret that I still have 3 Rey figures in the package because I thought at one point they'd be worth money someday.
Well, hey, at least they're still in the package.
Yeah, I'm thinking of taking them out and strapping some freaking cherry bombs to them or something.
Yeah. That's just... oh my God. Hold on. Just keep talking.
About... Oh, okay. Kendo.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Now I don't forgot. Sorry.
All right.
About the, what's it called? The thing you're going to do. What you're going to do tonight. Is it just you and Jeff? Or is that top secret for now?
It's top secret for now.
Oh. But I am excited about the list, though. I heard the Patreon about y'all making the list. I'm excited for that when that comes out. Hopefully I can make it to at least one movie. Because it's on a weekday. Oh, yeah, because since it's on a weekday, but actually what I'm going to try to do is try to get to let me dress up as Jason Voorhees at work.
There you go.
I told him I'd do it. I'll do it. As long as I get to wear the mask, because I don't want to just wear the jumpsuit. And, you know, I get to wear it during work. And they can buy it for me, but I'll wear it straight up. All they have to do is buy it. So hopefully that'll go through and I'll send pictures when that comes out.
Nice.
Yeah. I remember what it was, Tap and Die, you were asking about. Your son said something about reading. Oh, it wasn't my Bible. I think it's Toby's Bible. Or Kellogg, the Gospel of Kellogg's or whatever he says.
That's right. I forgot.
But we actually did read, was it Proverbs? Was it National Bikini Day? Or no, it was National Cleavage Day. Yeah, Proverbs 5:19. We read that several times in several different translations. That was episode 38. So I think we did it. I think it was technically the day after, but yeah, there was a National Cleavage Day on the 19th of May, hence 5:19, and it's something about supple bosoms and things like that in that verse. It was actually very appropriate.
Which was the episode that Christopher Walken showed up?
That was an early one. That was Walking, didn't we call that Walking in Memphis?
Something like that.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
I'm looking. I got the whole list here. Long, loose, and
cast in the DCEU all the time, and I was doing Christopher Walken as Wonder Woman. I got this lasso. It makes you tell the truth. You can't lie. It's crazy.
Episode 20. So that's with what's her name from the Horse Whisperer. Whisper to us. Yeah, that was a good time. That was a good while ago. And then we had another guest back in the day. I forget his name. What's the
Jeff?
name? No. Yeah, we had Jeff, and we've had Loudy on this too, and Nick, Big Rig, but no, we had that
Eddie,
Mormon guy, huh?
It wasn't Eddie, was it?
No, gosh,
Good.
Johnny, Tommy Callahan.
Oh yeah, I remember Tommy Callahan.
Yeah. So that was another guest we had. Yeah, we used to do all kinds of crazy things. We had various guests. And then, of course, there was the infamous episode 17 where Kendo and I very drunkenly called Nick. Yeah, I was recording like for a minute and a half and didn't even realize. It's like, how do I get it record? No, I already hit the button. I didn't remember. Yeah, it was good times.
Yeah.
Got to talk to Dick Tanner.
Yep, old Dick Tanner.
Yeah, that was for Frankenthug. That was their thing for Frankenthug.
Yeah, that was their Indiegogo Kickstarter party dealy thing or whatever. And I think of the 30 people that were watching, the number fluctuated on that one quite a bit. The two of us were the only ones that were there the whole time. And we were getting increasingly more and more drunk each time. And then I started just getting belligerent towards Nick.
Yeah.
Can't imagine that.
I don't really know how many copies of Frankenthug I actually purchased over that time, but I think I only have one. So, because I think that one I gave him $50. I think. Maybe, I don't think it was 100. I think it was $50, and then I ended up buying it, and yeah, I don't know. So anyway, so buy Frankenthug. I don't know if Nick has any more copies. So was that Nick's second movie or third?
It's the second one that I know of, and the other one is the one we don't speak about.
Yeah, but did he? So he didn't do. What's the other one that's before Frankenthug? Once Upon a Nightmare?
No, that was Dick Tanner.
Okay, so he didn't do any of the work on that one. All right.
As far as I know, he didn't.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that was something else. So did you guys listen to last night's episode?
Yes.
I did. Yeah.
Well, Kendo was there.
Well, I know Kendo was. I'm not talking about him. So you guys, any other?
Yeah.
I mean,
I listened to it.
Part of this show is it's the show about the show. At least that's how we got started.
Wait, was on the show was where Dion got offended for offending or something. He said retarded or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd be getting offended for other people.
From his own insensitivities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
I'll
yes.
just tell him straight up if I ever meet him. I'll say, look, Dion, don't worry about us Mexicans. We talk shit about each other all the time. So you can call us wetback, mohawk, mojo, whatever you want. We ain't gonna get offended.
Yeah.
He would actually get offended that you would say words like that, and he'd be offended on behalf of the people that you're offending by saying words.
There is nothing more arrogant than being offended on somebody else's behalf.
Uh-huh.
I just want to throw that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, believe us, we give him plenty of shit about it. You guys don't hear it, but we give him plenty of shit about it.
I enjoyed his little meltdown about the horses today. That was good.
Yeah, well, who made the joke that was that he watches some show across the street because it has horses in it?
That would be me.
But what was it about? Like, what movie were they referencing?
I don't recall exactly. I just mentioned that he watched it from across the street because there was horses in it. Because He likes, okay, so Dion will go, he goes out of his way to try to say, I'm not afraid of horses. I just don't like them. But I've been around him enough, and there's been horses around. And look, there's a lot of things that I don't like, but I won't go out of my way to cross the street to avoid going anywhere near them. And so, like in New Orleans, he'll try to deny. But going around on Bourbon Street, there was plenty of, cops there on horseback, because it's Bourbon Street. It's got a reputation. And people would walk up to the cops and start talking to them, ask to take pictures with the horses. The cops were fine with it. People were allowed to pet the horses, on the neck and all that good stuff. And we're walking along, and Dion's looking at his phone, and then he looks up and he sees a horse 10 feet away. He stops, goes across the street, goes down the block a ways, and then comes back down to where we're at.
Wow.
Like, it was like a sixth sense that he had. He just suddenly he looked up, saw it, was like, beeline, out of the way. And then
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and then when we were in Indianapolis, Brian was there for this one. We were walking. It was after the convention wrapped on the Friday night. And originally the plan was Friday night, the convention was going to wrap. We were going to go get some drinks and just kind of hang out, have a late dinner, get ready for the next day. Because we were going to, it was like a 12-hour stretch the next day. Well, instead, we met up with a fan, and he was local from the area, and he's like, yeah, we should go to the state. You guys should really try the steakhouse, blah, 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 blah. So Jeff's like, all right, the hell with it. They're open late. Let's go. So we're walking down the street. So we come to the intersection where we've got to go across the street to the steakhouse, and there's a horse, like a Hansom cab, in the intersection.
Now we're talking a very wide, this is like, I don't know, 5 lanes. I mean, Indianapolis is very flat. It's very spaced out. The buildings are, and it's going by on the other side. So we're on one side of the street waiting to cross, and it's on the other side.
Just sat there parked.
Because, it was going by because they had the green light.
Oh, yeah. So we go across the street, and Dion just stops. He's like, I'll wait.
He crossed. He crossed with the light the other way, and then crossed over, and then we immediately crossed back because the cab kept going. By then, was like halfway down the block. I'm like, it's real.
Yeah, he'll try to play it off, but it's sure as shit. He will claim he is not afraid of horses, but like I said, there's things I don't like. I don't like yellow jackets. You get them in your lawn, especially out where I live. You find where the hole is, and when you're mowing the lawn, do I avoid that entire acre of grass? No. I just go as close as I can, and then I just hit that last patch as fast as I'm going on the mower and just blow right over them. But he is like, I'm not afraid of him. I just don't like him. It's like, dude, you are fucking terrified of horses.
Remember that?
And we don't know why. We have no idea as to why.
That one episode where I think it was a Jeff story of the week where he talked about this blind guy getting a C&I horse.
Yeah.
And he was freaking out about that horse is gonna bite me or bite you or whatever. It was freaking out.
Yeah, the horse will betray you.
Yeah.
No, that was a hand selected because of the content of their. I usually have several in the hopper, and I've got a few websites I go to get my Jeff stories of the week. The smoking gun is the most prevalent one, and I think that was like either a BBC story. It was from Britain. I know that, so it was from a British newspaper, and it was about a guy that got a C&I miniature horse. And on the one hand, I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I didn't know that they could come up with, you usually see like labs and German shepherds and things like that as your C&I dogs, your assistant dogs. I had never heard of this assistant, so it's like, this is interesting. This will bother Dion, and it's funny. I'm gonna just roll with this one this week.
I love that Dion's whole rationale is that a horse killed Superman.
Yeah, but I have to think that that's not the root of the fear. I think that's just his way to be able to pass it off.
Yeah.
Didn't he grow up out in the country? For some reason, I thought he's not a city. Right.
According to Jeff, he spent time out on a farm where there were horses and things. So I don't know. Maybe one had their way with him.
Yeah, maybe
it's like when Hank Hill was afraid of dolphins.
Yeah.
Probably just bit him in the ass when he turned around to try to like leave. It just went right for his ass.
Maybe he saw that Mr. Hands video and was like, nope.
Yeah, or he was just, one day Dion was being mischievous and was messing with the horse, and the horse got back at him. And after that, he's like, I'm afraid of horses. It's all their fault. It's like, no, Dion, no, you did this.
If y'all ever do that
not here to defend
intervention,
himself, so I'm not going to speculate.
If y'all ever do that intervention for him, I'll make sure to do a live stream of it so we can all watch and listen.
Oh boy!
Look, I can tell you, if there's one thing Dion Green is a man of conviction and stubbornness. There's no way we could ever intervene on him.
No,
that will never happen.
I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah,
he's consistent.
Yeah, it's like once he's made his mind up on an issue, he's going full blast towards it.
Yeah. It may be that something, I know we're speculating, but because I've known people that have had either fears or, phobias or dislikes for something, and they really didn't know why. And it was something that happened when they were really little and don't remember, but never know. I mean, when I'm around a horse, I'm on my notice, but I don't, it's like, cause I ride every once in a blue moon. So I don't, after Christopher Reeves got tossed from a horse, that's what you're talking about. Killed Superman. Duh.
Yes.
Duh.
Wow, Brian.
Wow. Well, I'm over here editing web pages while you guys are talking, so I'm only half paying attention. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, I've just realized that my list and stuff was all behind, so I'm on my website updating crap. Like I said, I'm listening so that you guys, interact with one another. You get, what is it that you like to do? Long walks on the beach. Hey, Kendo, one of the things that we talked about doing last week is sometime we're going to do a watch party. We got to get copies of it, but watch party for Manos, Hands of Fate.
Isn't that public domain?
I don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It might be.
I don't think so. It just got released on Blu-ray a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but they can still do that with public domain shit. Like, people still release like Nosferatu and...
Oh, yeah. It would have to be public domain because it was on Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, so if it's public domain, you guys just find some place where you can download it or just watch it on YouTube or something. Yeah. You wouldn't have to do that. I know Amazon Prime used to have it on there. Because they had it and the Mystery Science 3000 thing, but I would look into that because I'm pretty sure I read that it's a public domain movie. So if it's
showing up on YouTube right now, I'm looking at it.
It's on 1080p.
Yeah,
that's what it said.
Because that's the thing is, even if it's public domain, people can go, and that's why if you ever find any like Three Stooges DVDs or anything like that, there's always 4 of them that are on there. Disorder in the Cord, Brideless Groom, there's a couple others, and anybody can put those out because they fell into public domain, and that's why, if hearkening back to the late 80s, early 90s, when you'd go to the video store and you would find copies of Looney Tunes, everyone had the exact same episodes on it, but they were all put out by different publishers.
How long does it take for a movie to go out in public domain?
That I'm not 100% sure on, but I know it's like it. From what I understand, because you could renew the licensure on it, but if you don't, then it goes into public domain. And once it hits public domain, I think there's no real way to pull that back, because it's kind of like if I have a patent on something and my patent expires, and then immediately everybody will copy it and start manufacturing their own, and it's like, well, how are you going to repatent something that 28 people now manufacture?
Yeah, because I've noticed a bunch of older movies that have been popping up on YouTube, like old war movies, and I think I saw the original Dawn of the Dead was on there.
Yeah, I believe that one is on public domain too, something like that. I know there's a couple of those that are public domain, but it's just one of those things that if they just don't renew the licensure to it, then it just goes public domain, and a lot of times that happens either through oversight, error, or just they're like, there's not enough money to be made in this to secure the licensing still on it for the fees, so the hell with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. It is on YouTube, and the colors are quite brilliant. So I think they've upscaled it a bit from what I remember.
No, what happened was some guy actually stumbled upon the original work print and not the usual copies that have been copied and copied and copied 100 times over until it's all grainy and worn out.
Right.
So that's like the cleanest version you could ever possibly see.
Wow.
Which is great for the fans like me because we can enjoy it even that much more. And the most versions, like they cut a few seconds off the front, so you are immediately seeing the family sitting in the car talking. And before that, it kind of is like looking off in the distance, and it pans over to the family in the car.
Yeah. Yeah, the one on YouTube that has the pan. Yeah. Well, maybe we'll just use the one on YouTube. So, Frank, if you want to, we can do it whenever. If you'd rather wait, do it on your birthday or something. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I know it's a few months off. We could do it for, it is October.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I used to be regular on this streaming website called Fat Stupid Garbage, and one year on my birthday, they arranged a 24-hour Manos stream. So we watched the regular movie, we watched the Mystery Science Theater version, we watched the Riff Tracks version, we watched the Riff Tracks live version, and we even, on my suggestion, we found the Manos stage play.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah. There is also a puppet show version called The Hands of Felt.
Oh my god. I can't wait to watch this movie.
All right, now we've got to create a puppit version of The Room.
Yeah. Oh wow!
Don't be putting ideas out there.
I'm thinking that's probably already happened. Somebody's done that.
Not a finger puppet.
Dan, fact check that.
Not a pocket puppet version. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's just hilarious. Golly day.
But yeah,
yeah.
It's amazing. Ever since Mystery Science Theater discovered it and brought it back to life, Manos has become this fucking phenomenon. They're actually I don't know if it's done yet, but they're working on a sequel. Manos Returns.
The same people, or I mean that was
no, not the same people, but one of their grandsons. I mean, I know for a fact that Jackie Naiman, who played Debbie in the original movie, she's active on the Manos fan page on Facebook, and I think she's involved in the movie, or had some kind of consulting, or just been following it out of interest because it's been such a huge part of her life since she was a little kid.
You just kind of stopped mid-sentence.
I know.
No, and that was it.
Oh. Well, speaking of what's it called? Since it's October, I guess maybe we could talk about our horror movies we like, since we hear Nick talk about it, and Kendo on the main show. The only one I could think of that I like as far as it's in the horror genre is Dog Soldiers, the werewolf one. I don't know if you have seen that one.
I haven't heard of that one, but there was this one produced by HBO or Showtime called Full Eclipse, starring Mario Van Peebles. About this special unit of werewolf cops who have almost Wolverine claws.
You said HBO?
I think it was either HBO or Showtime, or one of those. It was produced by them, and it was honestly pretty damn good. And I've always said that Mario Van Peebles was one of the most underrated action stars of the 90s.
I'll have to take a look. And what's it called again?
Full Eclipse.
Full Eclipse. Let me see.
Manos, The Hands of Fate is on Amazon Prime streaming.
Ooh. Okay, I got that, so I got my copy then.
So there you go. You can download it.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Yeah. We'll have to compare it. Yeah, we'll have to figure it out. Figure out when we want to do it. And do a watch party for that. I haven't watched that movie probably. I think I actually watched a VHS recording of the Mystery Science Theater version.
The movie's only an hour long, too, so it's not going to put you out for a while.
Yeah, 68 minutes.
Yeah,
Yes, it's sad I know this.
That's all right. It's your favorite movie. We already discussed that. That was
the reason why it became my favorite movie is for a while a friend and I and his father were doing a podcast radio series called Mystery Science Radio Shortwave, which was inspired a lot by Doctor Who and Mystery Science Theater and all that shit. And they brought me in to be a cast member to play the Master and various other characters. So by the time we all parted ways 2 years later, between the three of us, we had something like 15 different characters, including 3 Torgos.
Torgos. Well, see, and there was a Mono Hands of Fate screensaver. I think it was a plugin for was that After Dark? Was that screensaver program that had the flying toasters and all that stuff?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah,
it was a video game.
Yeah,
someone made a whole video game out of it.
Yeah, but I think it was a plugin for that, and you would hear his music, and he'd say, "He's got to be around here somewhere." I hear his theme music, and then he would show up and kind of like walk, and then as he was walking, that part of the screen would disappear. So, yeah, it's now the one on YouTube is 113, an hour and 13 minutes, but it looks like they added credits to the end that look very clean. So I think now it's the restoration credit. So okay. So I guess
so there's that, and they might have included the documentary in there too.
Yeah. Terror Vision to 1986. What is this? This is another Night of the Demons, 1988. I have found the old bad movies section on YouTube. You guys ever come across the naked boobies section of YouTube?
No.
I've seen a bit of that.
Not on purpose. That's what I meant.
I have to admit, not on purpose, except when maybe it was a Sopranos clip or something. But yeah, every once in a while I'll be clicking on something and it'd be like some movie in Turkish or something, and then some naked chick goes walking by, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that wasn't allowed. That's not, unlike Nick, I'm not behind a VPN yet, although I'm seriously considering that. I can get one installed essentially on my router so that everything goes out on a VPN no matter what. So, and some of those you can choose your country of origin and all that to see content that's region blocked.
That's when that happens.
This looks like a stupid horror movie too. I mean, I have the sound off and it looks really bad and dumb. To answer your question, Tabitha, I don't know about favorite, but one of the horror, and I don't know if it's considered a horror or gore movie, but it was one of the first rated R movies I saw in theaters legally, and April Fool's Day was one that I like. 85, I want to believe, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Hold on.
86, maybe.
86.
Yeah. I saw that in Germany. So I know it was in high school or shortly after. So, but yeah, it was a interesting movie. I think there were all of a dozen people in the theater at most.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh good Lord, the old shepherd barks at everything now.
You know, didn't they do was it Explain a Film Pop badly for Manos Hands of Fate one time?
Oh, I'm sure someone's done.
On the show, I mean.
Likely.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember because don't they sacrifice them something about a volcano or something like that? In the movie,
if there was a volcano involved, it wasn't a volcano.
Was there a volcano? Okay. All right. Maybe I'm thinking. I'm just trying to remember something. That's why. Ignore me.
Well, David Applegate has it said it is After Dark. So yeah, I remember it when I worked in the library. We had it on the Macs. I'm sure there was a Windows version eventually, especially probably Windows 3.1 or something. But you had better bass sound on the Mac until they started to put inexpensive. I guess it wasn't Sound Blaster, AdLib. It's one of those. They started putting the chips on some motherboards eventually. So, but now, obviously, depending on what stuff you want to do. Mm-hmm. So, but Kendo, I need to get back to the recipe for the 1000K subscriber celebration ale, and I'll make sure I use at least 15 varieties of hops and 7 varieties of malts.
You'll still hate it. You didn't like your 50K celebration beer, and we were all like, "This is fine." I don't know why he's so down on it.
No, I missed my numbers. That was my only. I liked it. I have about, I think I got 11 bottles left, but and there's a listener up there in Pittsburgh whose name I always forget, who's making the cider, and I thought our mead, and we're supposed to exchange, I think. But it needs to be. It was supposed to be a little bit deeper red color than it was, and I didn't know that the citric hops were going to give me that funkiness. That's all. Oh, and I missed the alcohol level. So, golly, I don't know why.
It happens.
So, what? What happens? Who? What? Oh. We got 3 people watching, I think, or 4.
Yay!
3 people,
well,
3 viewers.
Actually, technically it's 2.
I know. Oh my God! But at least David is David and Kaylin the alien are. So we were reminisce. Oh yeah, we had Oxford President on this show as well. Eddie Cantillo came on a couple times. And there was somebody else we had on here. And I don't want to pause the show to try to remember. But I do miss Oggs. He hit puberty yet?
No idea.
YouTube. Hold on. What's it? Kaylin's talking about Kaylin the alien. He's messaging about how he randomly saw a lady giving birth in a river video.
Like a real birth? Was there alligators in there too? So
answer Kaylin.
Kendo, I do have a request for some time. You don't have to do this every time on the show, on the big show. I liked it when you play Guess the State with Jeff on the Jeff Story of the Week. So, although it became too many times, it was Florida or Ohio.
She's still there.
Hello.
Kendo.
I got to get the dogs outside. Keep talking.
Kendo.
Oh shit. Kendo. Oh,
Kenny, or just say Kenny.
Kenny.
I'm thinking maybe one day if he went by his, name Kenny, they should do a he dies every week or something like that. Try like South Park. Or once a week. Every once in a while he'll die. Like when he doesn't show up, they just say he's dead or something like that.
Didn't they used to do that before?
I don't think so.
The main show long ago? Yeah, like long ago they did.
Wait. Are you talking about the show or South Park?
No, the main show.
I don't remember him killing him, dying every week.
No.
I remember for the longest time, Kendo. I remember for the longest time he was still the newest bullshitter. I'm glad they finally stopped calling him that. I was like, I think he's been on there long enough.
He finally grew up.
Mm-hmm. He ascended.
He graduated with full honors.
Mm-hmm. Replacement Dustin.
Pretty much.
Not too bad. I wish at least Dan would stay because he would always say something funny every once in a while. He was the quiet one, but every once in a while he would come up with something.
Every once in a while.
Yeah,
I did enjoy it.
He is the quiet one in person too.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of sits there, observes. He's not quite Silent Bob, but yeah, it is interesting when Jeff talks about Phil and Dan. I have seen some of those various characteristics live, so I know what he's talking about. But hey, Well, that's like when Kendo left this show and was on the big show. That was it was a very interesting catalyst. So the WCBS was growing. For those of you who haven't been listening for 2 years, so The Last Jedi comes out. I mean, they were already growing before then, starting to get more and more growth. And then I even mentioned it on this show. It's like there was a missing element in how Jeff was preparing some of the videos he was doing. And when Kendo switched over to that show, it was like that missing puzzle piece. And then it just launched.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, he and Jeff are the best things about Ring Rust too. So, you know, I don't even like wrestling, and I listened. And then when it was just Phil, Dan, and Loudy, Loudy likes to talk, but he's not prepared. Phil, even when you talk to him live, I got to stand next to him, but he's not, because when he's laughing or something, he's not too loud. And then Dan, you can't hear, you can't hear him if the wind's blowing. So it almost sounded like PBS table talk. Okay, guys, let's talk about wrestling. So did you see the pay-per-view yesterday? No, I didn't see it. Well, then, that was the one episode of Ring Rust after Jeff and Kendo left, and it was Phil trying to pull words out of Loudy and Dan. Yeah, I saw it. It's it would be, and then I think they recorded one more after that, and Jeff's like, "Yeah, we're not even going to put it on." So, and then in part, it's the main channel started to grow quite rapidly, and he started to become more and more busy with that. So,
Yep. What's funny is I thought he was white too at one point, big white guy. Because I know people, he always talks about how they always say I'm white and racist, but I'm not white. So yeah, well, I thought he was white. Like when I first was hearing him for the first time, Jeff, I imagined some big white guy with glasses, like I guess how you look, Brian. Actually, you know what? Now I think about it, you look exactly how I thought Jeff looked like at one point, until I saw his pictures on the Facebook, the group or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, just some big white guy with glasses talking about pop culture, but now I know he's half black.
Yeah. Well, we're about the same height. I think he's about half inch taller, maybe a little bit more. He has a younger back, so he can stand up straighter.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, hey, we did a couple beer reviews together at Phil's.
Yeah, I saw those.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's that's funny. No one's ever said that. Red Henry has like 3 movies and cannot appear as WB Warner Brothers not willing to pay him a retainer. David, I'm just reading your chat message. You look really white on a photo because of a flash. Yeah, well, I think if I remember correctly, his dad's half black and his mom's white, so he's got features of both sides. And so anyway, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I don't remember if I had an idea of what any of them looked at like. Loudy was the first one I met, and the infamous Target parking lot, and yeah, I gave him beer, and somehow he had like one of them. I gave him a mixed 6-pack, and I think if I remember correctly, he had 1, maybe 2, and then the other 4 disappeared. He was when he was living with his parents, I think. So, and I did find out he lives now on the east side. He's not 45 minutes away, but it's not as close as it used to be. It's about maybe half an hour or so, 25 minutes, half an hour, depending on how you get the lights. It is far less convenient from where Jeff and Phil and everybody else tends to stay when they're in town. So anyway, that's what we also got coming up. So in March, it's going to be Horror Hound Cincinnati, and it's in Sharonville Convention Center, which I don't even know if it's 20 minutes from me. I mean, it's literally a couple minutes to get on 275, go east, get off the highway after about 5 miles, and God bless America. I swear these dogs driving me nuts. Ellie's why is she barking? She probably has to go out now that she's had water. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, so I did some live streaming at Horror Hound. I really did get yelled at a couple times. On one of the live streams, you can hear someone yelling at me, "You can't video here." I was videoing the line for the guy who played Jason, one of the Friday, because he was sitting, so you couldn't see him, but he had a line. It was at the end of the row we were in, and I think up until about 5 minutes before the show was over, he had 40 people in line. Like the second it opened until it closed, every single day. It was crazy, and that's what I was videoing.
Somebody else.
Right. I was videoing the line, even commenting, saying, "Hey, here's got," and some volunteer came, "You can't video here." And I'm like, oh, I'm so
shut up, bitch.
Well, I was not trying to show celebrities. I mean, it's sometimes hard, and I understand that. I know they're there for autographs and all that. I get it. And so I try to be very sensitive. In fact, I was over on the other side. I think it was that Friday. It was either Friday or Saturday. I think it was Saturday. And I was taking pictures of this guy they had all these comic books and stuff. And I wanted to get pictures of people going through them. And so I got behind him, and then I stood on the chair and was going down, and I was but unfortunately about 15 feet or so down this table is where celebrities started. So I was trying to get a couple of people in line. And then in my viewfinder, I saw Lori Petty doing a selfie with some fans, and I stopped and waited for her to get out of my line of sight. So, but they don't know that. And, eventually I was like, okay, I'm not really part of the convention. I've been asked like 5 times, what the hell am I doing? And I better just stop. So,
yeah.
But see, this comes from years of doing various festivals and things in around Cincinnati where I am part of it. I'm a volunteer many times, and I don't, sometimes I get the pictures, people handing out beer or something, you get both sides, but quite often it's more about getting the people, the expressions on their face as they're getting, whatever it is they're in line for. And that's what I was going for. But I really probably need some kind of, credential that's more orientated to the convention to get that. But that's the problem. I don't know how to do it as a convention goer, because I'm not an autograph seeker. So, I've paid some for my kids to get autographs and stood in line with them, but, I
think I'm in the train of thought of Jeff now. Like, I don't want to pay for some celebrity's autograph, so I wouldn't get it. I thought about it. The more he talked about it, the more I thought about it. Like, you know what? I ain't going to pay for an autograph, so fuck it. Sorry, did I interrupt? Still there?
What?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Huh?
I'm trying to figure out why my other dog is barking. Well, I was listening.
And
I was talking to my daughter.
Shoot the dog.
No, I think the dog.
I will.
Well, it is getting to be 10 o'clock. Are you still with us, Frank, or are you going to start fading?
I think I'm fading here. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Fading.
So, well, I know this has been an interesting live stream. We can wrap it up. Unless you guys want to talk more after Frank hangs up.
I don't know what else to say. I'm starting to get sleepy myself. And then, too, I want to play Xbox before I go to sleep.
Well, you got to have your priorities.
Yeah. I want to play with my M16. I mean, on the game, of course.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
And I don't... Kendo Show's still here, but is he here for real? Or is this just icons here?
I'm here.
He's probably
okay. He was real quiet.
chatting away. Yeah.
I had a phone call.
Oh.
All right. So, am I picking the Hall of Fame, or do you want to pick a Hall of Fame?
You can do it.
All right. So, I choose Bar Refaeli, I guess is her name. Refaeli. So she's an Israeli. So there you go. Tap and Die and LMP. You finally got your wish.
What?
She's a model. I wasn't
wishing for no Israelis. Look, I like the Uzi as much as the next guy, but I ain't that into Israeli.
She's a model. Gorgeous, has nice features. And so we salute her in our Hall of Fame inductee for tonight. And I'll find some interesting pictures to put in the thumbnail, and I'll do it after the fact as opposed to beforehand. So what do you think? Do you like this live format, or do you want to go back to the way we used to do things? I don't.
I don't know. Maybe we'll try another one next time and then see where that goes. But it's good we experimented now, because I actually kind of excited to do the Manos Hands of Fate one. I'm thinking, should I watch it just in case, or should I wait so I can experience it for the first time when we're watching it?
If you're going to do it in the group, wait and do it then.
Okay, I'll wait till we do it.
It's all the difference of seeing the room by yourself the first time and going to see it with a group.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree.
All right, then I'll wait.
And I'm going to figure out how to get the audio share to work. I got the video to share, and I sort of got the audio working, but I'm going to have to experiment with that. I may do that on my own channel as well.
And best of all, you'll have a certified expert there, me, to explain things, because some parts of it do need some explaining.
Oh, excellent. Yep. So, well, thank you, Kaylin the Alien and David Applegate, for hanging out and keeping the chat alive. And there was one other person. Was that Atomic Fires 7676?
That's
Is that
me.
You? Okay.
I kept telling you that was me. That's my second profile.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen Lapis Anus in a long time either. It's probably an old time listener who got fed up on the show. But it's like every once in a blue moon I see something on Facebook from Christopher Littleton. So, oh, good grief. Now they're getting rambunctious. So I got some dogs to deal with as well. So, Kendo, thanks for stopping by.
No problem.
Thanks for crashing our scene. And we'll try and do this again. I think we'll experiment, see how we like the live. What's nice about the live is that I don't have to stay up for another hour and a half editing and waiting for it to render and upload and all that other crap. So, and I only do it at 720, but it still takes, it's like, I don't know, a gig and a half, and it takes a while to upload. So, but anyway, all right. Well, with the dogs going crazy, I have been your host, Brain Muffin, the Lifting Nerd. With this has been Kendo Slice.
I'm better than you, and I know it.
Yep. Tab and die.
Brush your ass. Oh, wait. Said that wrong.
Don't forget to brush your ass. And Reality's Frank.
I am Torgo. I take care of the place while the master is away.
That'll make more sense to have a die after see the movie. And now we don't have to wait for LMP to say his post-goodbye silliness. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.